Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. This is episode 340, as well as day 340 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring here in the state of Michigan. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame, while running two major races within this time frame as well. Those races being a 50K ultramarathon trail race, which was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race out in Middleville, Michigan, on day 156 of my journey. I ran that 31-mile race within 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, which was a personal record for me. The next race that came up within this yearly time frame was on day 290, and that was the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I ran that 26.2 mile race within 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 28 seconds. That race was also a personal record for me. Not only was I able to run those races, but I was actually also able to keep the streak alive after running both of those races. So we are currently here on day 340. And we're going to break down the mileage. So for the day today, day 340, got out there and put in 1.5 miles for the day, which put me at 1.5 miles for the week, which put me at 22.4 miles for the month, which put me at 1,597.8 miles for the year. We have clearly surpassed the yearly mileage goal of 1,500 miles. We are 97.8 miles over that to be exact, with plenty of days to continue to surpass that. The original goal for the year was 1,250, but we passed that, so we changed it to 1,500. I wanted to change it to 1,750, but have came across a slight foot injury that isn't very painful, but there's just something not feeling right about my foot. It's popping. The tendon up top just it's very off. Putting pressure on it, it feels like it's sliding out of its track. It just doesn't feel right, so I'm trying to actually lower the mileage here. We've surpassed the yearly mileage. I've hit both of the goals of running those two big major races and continuing the run streak. We have the run streak still going for us, so kind of step down on that 1750 for the year goal. We'll see how we kind of start feeling towards the end of the week. Maybe I will be able to really pick it back up and maybe try to hit that actual goal or get close to it, but right now we're just going to finish out the year, see where we end up. But we are past that 1,500 mile mark. But now I kind of want to go back and refocus on that monthly mileage of 22.4. And I want to do that because every single month I challenge myself to a 100 mile challenge, where I run 100 miles in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money and awareness for throughout that month. The first 11 months of the year was able to raise money for 11 great charities. Now we're here within the 12th month of the year, the month of December, and we're doing another great charity for the 100 mile challenge. So December's 100 mile challenge is in honor of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you would like to donate to this month's fundraiser, or help raise awareness for this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story, or my personal page's Facebook story. Within any of those stories on the Instagram or Facebooks, you can click on the link that says December's 100 mile challenge. It'll open up the actual Facebook page where you're able to make your donations. Keep in mind, all donations that get made go directly to this cause. Facebook is not taking or keeping any portion of your donations. So that is one thing that is very good about doing it through Facebook, is they've made the agreement not to be the middleman within this transaction, but not take any portion or cut of your donations. And like I said, I do know times are tough, but maybe you can afford to donate. But if you can't and you still want to help out, either way, if you did or didn't donate, then another way you can help out is to share this fundraiser. We're trying to raise awareness for it. Let's get as many eyes on it as possible. Putting it on your page or within your stories goes a long way in doing that. Um, Other than that, we can kind of get ready to get into today's actual episode. But right before we do that, let's talk about today's word of the day. So for the day today, December 6th, um, today's word of the day is fomite. Fomite is an object such as a dish, doorknob, or article of clothing that may be contaminated with bacteria or viruses and serve in their transmission. So, that is a fomite. That is interesting. A fomite is basically just something that a virus or bacteria can be transmitted on a dish, a doorknob, article of clothing, anything it can sit and live on for a while to be transferred. That is an interesting word of the day. Fomite for December 6th, 2021. Now, other than that, let's get into today's actual episode 340, day 340. Today's episode is moderate. And for the exact reason I kind of talked about earlier, wanted to kind of touch on me kind of moderating my miles, moderating my finishing out this year, the goal of the yearly goal, trying to just, see where we end up. We've already surpassed it twice. So now we're just kind to, trying to take it back a little bit a notch, or take it back a notch, kind of moderate the intensity, moderate the actual mileage, try to really focus in on getting the body recovered. And also, I'm trying to moderate the amount of time I've been putting into the running, because I do need to kind of focus in now on transitioning a lot of this into next year. I need to focus in on some other things about aspects about this podcast and social media account, but I also want to focus in on other things that I haven't had much time to deal with, just because I had been putting in so much time running, especially this past month in November. I think I did 36 hours, almost 37 hours, or 35 hours, almost 36 hours. One of the two. So 36, 37 basically hours, somewhere around there, of just running 215 miles within the month of November. Kind of flared my foot up, which is what I'm dealing with right now. So I'm trying to moderate that and make it a little bit less extreme, intense. Trying to really focus in on getting it to kind of, you know, um, be kind of anti-inflammatory. Just kind of go down a little bit. I think it's inflamed. I think that's kind of what's going on. I think it's a little swollen, so I'm trying to get it to relax, to calm down, to get back into the perfect shape. Trying to eventually, again, up the workload, but right now I'm focusing on really trying to moderate everything within my life. Trying to be the person that's kind of, all right, we're going to put this time here and this time here, and trying to get a nice balance within my life itself, especially here closing out the end of the year. One thing that's going to truly help me do that again is kind of taking that weight off of going for the 1750, of really pushing myself to get out there and continue putting in all these miles. Yes, I still am definitely hurting and really wanting to get out there and put in a lot of miles and go for that 1750 and push myself, but there's so much I need to get done throughout the day. So it's kind of nice to again, moderate that, to realize that it's a nice time to step back. We've already hit the yearly mileage twice. Now all we gotta do is hit the streak, let's take it back a notch so we don't, you know, take ourselves out of business by injuring myself. Um, and also by taking it back a notch, really refocusing on some things that I need to get done around here. Refocusing again on trying to get ready to transition this into next year. So there's a lot of things I'm trying to get done and get into order for that. So that is today's episode pretty much in a nutshell. It's me trying to just kind of moderate this month, moderate my running, moderate the amount of work I'm putting into everything around the house, and moderate the work I'm putting into evolving this into what it's going to be in 2022. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. For episode 340, your daily discipline, it is to as well moderate the things within your life, figure out the intensity, the quality, the degree in which you're going to attack, consume, whatever it is. Kind of moderate, figure out where you want to go and how you need to get there, and how much of each thing you need to work on within, or whatever your goal is. You know what your goal is. I think you kind of get the concept I mean by trying to really focus in and moderate your time and your attention towards what it is that you need to do. So that is your daily discipline for the day today. Episode 340, day 340. I'm your host, Scott. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. If you guys can, give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever other podcast streaming platforms you've been listening along on. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 341. And until then, stay disciplined, get your daily discipline done, get your donations in for St. Jude's Hospital this month. And until tomorrow, peace out.